another day, another mystery. On a brisk autumn day, October 21st, 1978, just a stone's throw away from the bustling city of Melbourne, Australia, the hum of a single-engine Cessna pierced the tranquility of Moorabbin Airport. The pilot, a young man named Frederick Valentich, was only 20 years old. Valentich was no novice to the skies, having been flying solo for 2 years, with over 150 hours of solitary flight time inked into his logbook. His destination that day was King Island, a small island nestled off the northwest coast of Tasmania. His flight plan was a simple one, a 40-minute trip west along the breathtaking Australian coastline, before making a turn at Cape Otway, where he would then head south for a half-hour journey across the treacherous waters of Bass Strait. Who was Frederick Valentich? A man with a burning passion for aviation. With 150 hours in the sky under his belt and a Class 4 instrument rating, he was qualified to fly at night, but only under clear meteorological conditions. Despite his lack of formal education, which twice thwarted his attempts to join the prestigious ranks of the Royal Australian Air Force, he remained undeterred. A member of the RAAF Air Training Corps, he was steadfast in his pursuit of an aviation career. Juggling his time between the sky and the classroom, Valentich was studying to become a commercial pilot. However, his academic record was less than stellar. He had twice failed all 5 commercial license examination subjects. Just a month before his mysterious disappearance, he failed 3 more. His flying record was not without blemish either. Having been warned for straying into a controlled zone in Sydney and under consideration for prosecution for twice intentionally flying into a cloud. Adding an intriguing layer to his character, Valentich, according to his father Guido, was a fervent believer in UFOs. He even harbored fears of being attacked by these extraterrestrial entities. The final chapter of Valentich's story is as mysterious as the man himself. His last flight was destined for King Island, but the reasons behind this journey remain a mystery. He told flight officials he was visiting friends, while others heard he was on a mission to collect crayfish. Subsequent investigations debunked both claims. Moreover, he had not communicated his plans to land at King Island Airport, a deviation from standard procedure that only deepens the mystery of this captivating character. Ken Llewellyn, a seasoned veteran of the Royal Australian Air Force, offered his thoughts on Frederick's flight.
It was a fairly normal exercise. He had an appropriate instrument rating for the trip. It was a very straightforward flight, and I could see no reason why it shouldn't have concluded successfully. What happened 3/4 of an hour into that flight will be one of the great mysteries of Australian aviation.
The flight began as any other, with Valentich in constant contact with a flight service center on the ground. As he soared through the sky, he reported a large aircraft that passed 1,000 feet above him, not once but several times. The ground controller communicating with Frederick was Stephen Roby.
Genuinely concerned by what he saw, with what he saw. He was worried. He sounded confused. Then as he described what the aircraft was doing, I became a little bit concerned too.
Frederick reported that the craft was stationary, hovering in midair as he flew around it. The following is the last audio recording of the radio communication. The audio ends with that strange clicking noise, an eerie, unidentifiable sound echoing through the radio frequency. The sound lasted a chilling 17 seconds, then nothing but silence. For 4 long days, a flotilla of search vessels tirelessly crisscrossed the ominous waters of Bass Strait. Despite their best efforts, there was no sign of Valentich or his aircraft. There was no wreckage, no debris, no evidence to suggest there'd ever been a crash. All that remained was a final baffling radio transmission. Speculation ran rampant as to what may have happened, until a witness came forward with a first-hand account. Around the time of Valentich's disappearance, an eyewitness and his family were returning from an afternoon outing when they noticed unusual activity in the sky. The witness has asked to remain anonymous.
I looked up and I saw this line green light, about 1,000 to 2,000 feet above the aircraft. So we sat there and watched it for a few seconds, and the green light got closer to the plane. I said, that plane is coming down pretty steep. I said, on a 45-degree angle. I said, I think it's going to crash.
The eyewitness account suggested that perhaps Valentich had an encounter with a UFO. He never saw whether the plane crashed. The only certainty was that Valentich had vanished. 6 weeks later, an amateur photographer came forward with even more startling evidence. On the evening of the flight, Roy Manifold had been setting up to photograph a sunset at Cape Otway, which was almost directly under Valentich's flight path.
I'd done the normal thing, had the camera on automatic exposure, and I took 6 photographs of the sun disappearing into the sea.
When developed, Manifold said one of the photographs displayed a peculiar blemish.
I observed this mark on the print that looked like a developing error or something. They messed it up. I said, just a minute, that night I took this is exactly the night that this guy disappeared.
A leading Australian photo lab found neither dirt nor damage on the negative, determining that the strange mark was actually in the picture. The negative was later sent to the United States for computer analysis by a team of UFO researchers. They claimed that the blot was actually a solid, metallic object. To them, it appeared to be enveloped in a cloud of exhaust situated about a mile from the camera. A second analysis, however, stated that the mark could be a developing error. Either way, Roy Manifold believes the photograph does show something of consequence.
Unfortunately, I didn't see it, and I didn't hear anything that particular night either. First time I've had something on any of my printing, and I've done thousands of photographs, and without any incidents of anything like that on them.
It's been over 30 years since Frederick Valentich embarked on his ill-fated journey. Yet, the questions surrounding his mysterious disappearance remain as haunting and perplexing as ever. What exactly did Valentich see in the minutes before radio contact was lost? Perhaps the secret of Frederick Valentich lies many fathoms beneath Bass Strait. Or perhaps it lies far from our planet, light years beyond our understanding. Whatever you believe, the mystery remains unsolved. Thank you so much for watching. Dropping a like and sharing really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. This timeline needs you.